Hello, we are going to talk about expired homes. Why did my home not sell? I can't believe it. It's so perfect. Everybody should have wanted it and it didn't sell. It must be a horrible agent. I've heard it all, and I'm going to say there's multiple factors that go into a home and why it expired or didn't sell. Number one, this is the number one reason, and sellers aren't going to want to hear this, but I'm truthful. Price point. Number one reason. It's not the only reason, but it's the number one reason most times homes don't sell. And that doesn't mean necessarily pricing it was wrong at the time. But perhaps when you listed it, it was going into a declining market, and we ended up chasing that higher price into a declining market. Seasonality comes into play to listing a home at the end of summer, going into fall or in the winter can factor into that. Sometimes when you comp out a home and the pricing that comes out and the comps come from 4 to 6 months ago, and you put it on the market, let's say in the winter, depending on where you are, everybody has seasonality. It could be a huge problem if you don't factor that into the slower market, which you listed in it. So price can be multiple things, or it's just price high. You know, sometimes as a seller, we have values, we have, it's the home you lived in. It could be whatever. Or maybe your Uncle Bob said, hey, that home's worth this all day, and you better get it. Who knows? Whatever the reasoning is, price. Number two can factor down into just some simple things like marketing. And marketing isn't simple. I shouldn't say that. But if it's not done, then it can definitely hurt your sale. So if the house gets listed and no paid marketing or exposures done by having the brokerage calling buyers and saying, hey, I got this great house, you got to check it out, or putting it out to other brokers. There's so many things with the marketing side of it that I don't want to get into a ton of details, but marketing is definitely one of them. Condition presentation of the house. So if your house is kind of, needs a paint job, it's got a lot of furniture in it, maybe it wasn't decluttered prior to listing, or maybe the photography came out bad. I'm not sure, but that can be another factor. Again, there's multiple things that go into that. Fourth reason, poor showing experience. They get there, and sometimes you can't avoid these things, but you get into a house that maybe it's empty, maybe it's been winterized and it's cold in there. So a buyer walks in and they're shivering the whole time, looking around. There's multiple things, but the showing experience can be bad. Maybe you got pets. I don't know. If you got pets and the pet odors there, they walk in, it may not affect you, but that new buyer that's not used to that odor smells it. That could be a huge issue to them. And just, you could have a great home, walk in and smell that, and somebody's going to walk right out because they don't want that smell. I've had buyers do it with me when we're showing homes all the time. It's just one of those things you got to consider. And your agent's got to be talking to you, your broker, whoever's listing your home, and telling you these things. I know I'm upfront with my sellers. If I see something that I say, hey, if we can alleviate this issue, it's going to help. Or if we could take care of this little problem over here, that's going to be helpful. So you do 5 or 10 little things that are helpful, all of a sudden you've created a lot of things that when that buyer walks in the door, they can just be, oh, I picture myself here. I'm at my house. I can picture myself living here. I love it. I want this house. That's what we want to create. We want to give them that experience. So sometimes it could come down to mishandling of offers. So I'll give you a quick example of that. If you did get an offer on your house and the whether it be the price, or maybe you went under contract and it fell out of contract due to I don't know, due diligence, or maybe the buyer lost his financing. So it's just coming up with strategies and ways to try to get through those issues. You know, that can be another problem with the listing. Now going further into this, which kind of goes back to the number one, is, well, I think my home's worth this much, even though, well, we can always bring the price down. The problem with that is when you list the home initially, there's a little price that goes in the MLS that says price. Now, if you decrease that price and start pulling it back, it shows original price, current price. So now all of a sudden, your house looks like it's been discounted. Well, why? Why has it been discounted? As a buyer, I'm walking in there and saying, oh, well, they something's wrong with it, or they've discounted it. They must be eager now. And maybe you are eager. I don't know. Maybe you want to wholesale it and get it gone. You got to price the house correctly right off the hop. Please, please, please. I always tell my sellers, I've turned down listings when they wanted too much. I'm like, this ain't gonna sell for this. And of course, there's agents out there that'll take on it. They'll tell you it's worth more than it'll sell for, just to get you to buy into them selling your home. It's not a good strategy. And when you have to chase the market backwards, it's not good. It looks bad from the point you start dropping the house price points down. You know, at the time, it may sound right, but you know, it's just not a good a strategy to overprice and pull the price backwards. If you're gonna do that, don't be eager to pull the price backwards. So you're gonna, at that point, be hoping the market's increasing. So if you're overpriced, eventually the buyers are gonna jump on and go into it. And remember, your house is only worth what a buyer is willing to pay. I don't care if the guy down the street over there sold it for, you know, $300,000 more 2 years ago or a year ago. That don't matter. You got to go with the current market. It's good to have a basis, never hurts, but it doesn't mean you're going to get that when you're selling. Maybe you can get more. Talk to your agent, don't listen to them. It definitely will help you. And I'm going through a list here. It could be timing. Timing could be a thing. We see homes, they hit the market, seasonality is off, and you know, it's just not the time to sell. Where I'm located up here in Maine, it's not a good time over the winter. Sometimes you need to sell though. You know, you gotta move, whatever it might be. But you know, and sometimes you gotta take a price hit a little bit to do that, to get it gone. But people just aren't as eager in the winter to go out. Timing could be bad with a down, you know, like I said earlier, a market that's depreciating. We've been in that now for 3.5 years. Prices have been dropping. You know, for a while there, we were seeing appreciation of 15, 20, 25%. Now we're barely seeing 1%, and things are just flattening out. So it's coming down, down, down. How far will that go? Not sure. You know, every year's a little different. There are forecasts and things we can say that we're seeing in the market that, you know, rates are helping now. So we're starting to see some more buyers coming out. So that's a good thing. that'll help stabilize and hold values. So, but reach out to me. I'm happy to talk with you wherever you're located. You know, you may not have to be in my market, but I'm in a brokerage where we got 85,000 agents across 29 countries, predominantly in the USA. If I can't help you, I definitely can strategize with you and then get you an agent in your market to help you that has the same beliefs and values as I do with our business. But reach on out. We can hit the reset button, go over a strategy, and would love to talk to you further. And I'll be straightforward with you. You know, and some people don't want to hear that. They want to be in charge. You know, I'm not the agent for you. So just if you think you can do the job and stuff, don't hire an agent. Just sell it yourself. Outside of that, have a great day. I appreciate you reaching out and listening to me. Have a great one.